Let's make a summer tech house song.
Satisfying cravings, our spirits high and free. All about my energy, flowing through you and me.
And I'm gonna convert this sound into these vocals. Let's go! The first thing we need in tech house is a punchy kick. Okay, this one is good, but it doesn't have enough low end. So what we can do is layer, or just look for another kick. In this case, I like a lot the punch of this one. I want to keep it, and I found this one that has a lot more sub. So what we can do is layer them in two different ways. We can, for example, do something like this and like this. Okay, we get the punch and the body, but be careful with these jumps. You don't want this, so try to move it until a spot where the curve is natural. As we cannot get it, just open this one and reverse polarity. Now it's good, it's natural. But in this case, I wanted to complicate myself, so I did this. This way you also see different ways of doing it. On the first kick, I used volume shaper to get this. So yeah, it's basically like cutting like before. And on the lower kick, what I did is this crazy cube. Basically, I'm cutting all the mids and highs so it doesn't interfere with the attack of the original kick or the punchy kick. And I'm boosting a lot here because I just want the low end and I thought it was good like this. As you can see, I only keep the low end. Then a good way to glue better the kicks and make a better layer is to process them together in a bus. Saturation can help a lot to glue better sounds because you're gonna create some harmonics in these layers, so both sounds are gonna share some harmonics and, well, it's gonna sound more glued. In this case, I want to separate the lows and the highs, but on the lows, I feel it's distorting too much. And I'm losing a bit that really low end, so I'm not gonna have it. And then on the highs, it's adding a bit extra attack, so I like it. Something I always recommend you when working with kicks is to try to not process them at all or really simple things. If you need to do a lot of crazy things, go for another kick. Something I didn't do in this case. I did this crazy cue, but if you pay attention, it's not that crazy. I mean, it's basically boosting the lows, boosting the highs, and cleaning a bit here. Something extremely important in tech house are the drums. You need hi-hats, claps, shakers, something to add groove. This is a common tech house rhythm. But if you want to improve this, what you can do is add some variations. For example, on the hi-hat, just making something like this, making it shorter, I'm going to exaggerate it, it's going to add a better groove, it's going to feel less basic. And also you can change the volume just a little bit, but it's going to add a bit more variation. But guys, don't be afraid of layering. Boom! Maybe this is a bit too much, but I needed it. Okay, let's check the claps first. This is the main clap. I need a bit more strength in the center, so I took this one. And as this one is kind of panned to the left, I wanted one a bit more to the right. And we go from this to this. Way stronger. And here I added this rhythm. Then for the hi-hat, we had this one. It's good. But what happens if we add this one? That has a lot more attack. And if we add this one, this is a bit more open and a bit longer. And this one, that is a bit longer, a bit more dirty. We go from this to this. Way stronger sound. And if you pay attention, you realize that the clap is a bit to the left and the hi-hat a bit to the right. And this is pretty interesting and important. If you have all the drums in the center, it's gonna be more basic, more newbie. If you put them a bit to the sides, it's gonna sound more open, it's gonna sound more natural, but don't go too crazy. Don't put the hi-hat completely to the right and the clap completely to the left. That doesn't work. Just maybe 5, 10, 15%. And what if we add these shakers? But to add more variation, these shakers have sidechain. I'm gonna remove the sidechain here. Yeah, Wildcrow, but this sounds normal, it doesn't sound summer-ish, and you said this is summer tech house. So what we can do is add different sounds. We add this clave, it sounds kind of summer-ish, this one. And then I have this one that I only like this part, and this. So yeah, now I have this. Oh yeah, and I also added this drum, and more shakers. And guys, pay attention to this. We zoom, we zoom, we zoom. Oh, what's happening? What is this? What is this? And what is this? Guys, this is basically swing. If you want a really groovy tech house song, you need to move things to the left and to right a little bit. For the drums, I recommend you in other drums that are not the hi-hat or the clap. But also, you're gonna see it later, you can do this in bassline. And this way adds more groove. Okay, for the bassline, I'm going to use this sound. And my advice, don't go too crazy with the bassline. These kind of tech house songs are quite basic in these terms, okay? It's more about the groove. And here's a special tip. Try to maybe use 3 notes for the bass line, not more. Maybe sometimes you can go a bit out from this, but try to use only 3. I want something like dun 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 dun. Yeah, but I want it longer, and maybe what we can do is make it glide here. This can work, and as you can see I'm using only 3 notes, but then maybe here I can change this. Now to improve this, as I said before with the drums, you can add swing to the bass line. So what I'm gonna do is go here, I'm going to move this one a bit more to the front, maybe this one a bit more to the back, and also maybe you can make some notes a bit shorter. And then for the mid bass I'm going to use these 3 sounds. Quite punchy. This a bit wider for the sides, and this punchy and more in the mid-highs on the center. Then 3. But look what I did. To make it more groovy, as you can see, this is the sub bass. But if we go to the mid bass, it's not the same length, as you can see. This way shorter, this way shorter. This way what I'm doing is, with the shorter notes in the mid bass, I feel more the groove, the rhythm, the tung ta tung 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 ta tung tung. But then on the sub bass, I keep the notes a bit longer to cover more space and to keep the fullness in the low end. Okay, let's make this sound fuller. Now that we have like a solid skeleton of the song, if we want a summer tech house song, we need a kind of summer vibe in the melody. Here you can use different sounds. I'm going to try to use a kind of flute. A flute is kind of summerish, right? And I got this, 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 and this. Them all together sound like this. And if we are processing, we have this. And I made this melody. And here there are no tricks. I mean, for the melody, just something that comes to your mind, or just try different things. But guys, I think using this synth all the song is gonna be a bit annoying. I want to use a vocal. What can I do? I don't have singers, and I'm not a good singer at all. Okay, look this. I'm going to take the melody, I'm going to export it, and I'm going to go to Audimi. If you don't know, Audimi is a website where you upload a vocal and you switch it for another singer. You have a lot of different singers that you can choose. And to be honest, the conversion is so good. I've used it in some of my songs. Or for example, you can also upload your vocal and create harmonies, but they have another video about that. But today I'm going to take this a bit farther. I'm going to take a synth and convert it to a vocal. Let's see how it works. Okay, so first I'm going to choose a vocal. And I want a female, kind of mid, maybe. The genre, I don't really care it.
You let me down, 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 down. Run, baby, go. So I wanna let you know. Keep walking down. Just that so far. Destination. Vuelve. I don't wanna hide this. I will never, ever, 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 ever be you.
I'm going to use this one, I like it. Now that you have the vocal selected, go here and upload the file. Then we can choose the key and turn the pitch, so this way it is more into the key, but as it's a synth and the notes are perfect, I think I don't need it. And then here, well, we can try different things like less conversion, less pitch, more pitch. Maybe I should have removed the reverb, or I just can click here. Just try it like this, or maybe I can also put it on 12 up, convert, and see which one works better. I've been trying different ones. And the one I like the most is this one. Just download it here, and then with some processing, extra tweaking here and there, and so we have this. This works so great. You can use the link in the description to try Audimi and make crazy things like this. But what I'm gonna do is, in one part of the drop, use the synth, and in the other part, use the vocal. Also, I'm going to change a bit the arrangement of the drums. I don't want the same drums all the time. So for example, here I can remove this. Maybe here I can remove this. And of course, we can improve a bit more the drop with ear candy. On the bass, I'm going to do 2 things. Use this automation that basically is opening a cutoff in all the layers. So here, with this opening sound, we add more variation, and we can help to introduce the new sound that is the vocal. But I'm also going to use this pitch bend. It creates an extra one. Then, after looking for some sound, I found this. And of course, we're gonna start the drop without downlifters and crashes. Yeah, maybe a bit too much, but it works, okay? It works, don't judge me. One for the center. This one is a nice crash with rhythm. This one is to create a, I don't know, this effect. This to keep it a bit longer. This is a bit wider and a bit brighter. And then I wanted a bright crash. So for example, just with this is good, but with all of them, a lot more energy. Last but not least, on the second part of the drop, I'm going to add this. And I think the drop is done, you know? Then this song I want to start it directly with the build-up, so it's way, I don't know, I delivered the energy really fast. And the build-up is really simple, I'm just gonna explain it like this. It has some drums of the drop, claps and hi-hats, not all of them. As you can see here, we have more hi-hats, so this way, this is a bit softer, and when we reach the drop, it's a bit stronger. Then we have an impact, this crackle sound. I have a wrist bass with just one note. And then here, we filter it. We have uplifters, snares that are pretty important. What I'm doing here is controlling a filter and volume, so this way we start like this, and we end like this. The vocal drum from the drop, and I decided to add these vocals.
Greasy fries and cheesy bites, a feast for the soul.
Here I have the melody, but as you can see, it's another pattern called melody build-up, because here I removed 2 sounds, because this way it happens the same as with the hi-hats. In the build-up, the leads are not that strong, and then in the drop they are stronger and fuller, so it gives a bit extra energy, and of course they are filtered. This vocal from the drop, and then I made this riser, and an extra riser. It's this simple. Then to go to the other part of the song after the drop, after these 2 bars of the drop, what I'm gonna do is here make a bridge. Okay, go towards the break, keeping the rhythm. This part needs to be a little bit less energetic than the drop, so what I'm gonna do is, for example, remove all the hi-hats, keep the shakers, remove the claves, remove this, and maybe remove this also. We keep it more basic. Then here I'm going to take the bass and make it unique, because I'm going to do the same thing as in the build-up with the hi-hats and the melody. Remove some of the sounds. So we go from this to this, you know, kind of filtered. And I'm also going to filter this kind of vocal synth, because I'm going to add the original vocals here. And after that, we go to the break. But this one is pretty basic. I'm just gonna show you really quick. I have this wrist bass and these pads, like this.
We're drunk and hungry, dancing through the night.
But the cool thing of the break comes here. It took me some time to make this properly, but I made this.
In this moment, we all
Okay, what I did here? First of all, I took the vocal, okay, this part.
We all approve.
But I stretched it. Then I added this part on the ground analyzer. And by controlling the grain spacing and the wave spacing, super important, put this on loop. I made this. And then different versions, tweaking, stretching a little bit. In the end, I got this. And finally, this one, I'm pitching it up with this. So it's where I create a riser from this. Then build up again and drop again. So guys, if you didn't know, if you didn't realize, this is my new song, Flowin Thru. It's out everywhere, okay, in Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Tidal, these are everywhere. Go and stream it, and this is the end result. Remember to like and subscribe.
Greasy fries and cheesy bites, a feast for the soul. In between the beats, we're reaching a new goal. Satisfying cravings, our spirits high and free. All about my energy, flowing through you and me.